Greetings and welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. Nana Gyesie, your transformational coach and energetic architect here at Inner Mileage, where we help folks understand the trauma-informed basis of limiting self-beliefs and how to take inspired action to create resonant lives right here, right now. Today we're going to be talking about why empaths must master mindful words and selective silence to ascend. And this high-frequency transmission dismantles superficial paradigms around communication. And we're going to explore why empaths, which is the nervous system of humanity itself, must not only learn but master mindful words and cultivate selective silence as a technology of ascension. Because words and silence are not trivial. They are portals, contracts, energetic signatures, spells, and gateways into realms of coherence or chaos. So let's begin by clarifying. Words are contracts. Words are contracts. Meaning, every time an empath speaks, the empath enters into an energetic exchange, a contract that binds, shapes, and sculpts vibrational architecture. And from an academic perspective, when you think about linguistic relativity theory, it says that language structures thought itself. Think about this. Language structures thought itself, not just communication. Meaning, the words you speak define what you can even perceive as possible. Now, when we come into the neuroscientific world, studies in neuroplasticity show that self-talk rewires the brain's synaptic pathways, and words alter the architecture of perception and reaction itself. And here, I borrow deeply from the work of Steven Pinker, even the early works of Noam Chomsky, and so forth. And then when you come into the hermetic law of vibration, all is vibration. So you've often heard the Rastafari say, words, sound, and power. So words are sound vibrations, and they do not end when they are spoken. They reverberate into the quantum field where they attract like frequencies. So empaths must understand that when you as an empath speak to defend, explain, or validate your existence to unconscious or predatory energies, what you're actually doing is architecting your own energetic depletion, meaning every unnecessary explanation becomes a psychic link. It's also important to point out that silence is not emptiness, void. Silence is potentiality. Silence is power. Silence is containment. Let me prove this to you. In the Kybalion, the great work that espouses and gives you primal information on the Hermetic principles, the Masters taught that the lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. The lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. So when we look up the Sphinx in ancient Egypt, it had an embodied four powers. The power to know, scientia, the power to will, voluntas, the power to dare, audacia, the power to keep silent, tassia. Notice that silence is the crown jewel of this formula: to know, to will, to dare, to keep silent, because it preserves and seals the other powers. And when you borrow this insights from Stephen Porges' work on polyvagal theory, you realize that silence is critical for empaths because the empath's autonomic nervous system is always scanning for cues of safety or danger. Is it safe? Is it dangerous? Can I be calm? Do I remain hypervigilant? And when an empath speaks unnecessarily in unstable environments, the empath leaks energetic coherence. Conversely, empaths who master selective silence develop a vagal tone of neutrality, which creates an energetic field that no longer invites attack, enmeshment, or entanglement. You realize here that as you continue to ascend, there is the need for you to be very clear in how you're using your words, what you're speaking, how you're engaging with the world around you, knowing that you're casting spells anytime you speak. And anytime you speak with the words I am preceding, you're casting spells on yourself. Anytime you observe the self-talk that happens habitually, unconsciously, consciously, and especially subconsciously, you're also casting spells. And the question is, are the things you're saying to yourself true? Are they timely? Are they from a place of love? That would it help and elevate the current milieu that you're engaged in? Or would it make it worse? These are all things to be aware of as you begin to think about your speech and the utility of your speech in enabling your ascension and how it posits you for higher vibrational frequencies and less energetic leakage. So when you think about speech and silence as ascension technologies, ascension is often misunderstood as a disembodied spiritual bypass. And it's not so, because true ascension is embodiment at a high vibrational bandwidth. And when you think about this from the Buddhist framework, for example, one of the 8 of the Noble Eightfold Path is known as right speech, samavaka, or wise speech. And right speech or wise speech is explicitly defined as speech that is truthful, that is harmonious, that is gentle, and that is timely. And in Christian mysticism, St. John of the Cross describes the dark night of the soul, or the dark night, as a stripping away of all unnecessary utterances so the soul can meet the divine nakedly. In the Buddhist world, particularly in Tibetan Dzogchen, language is seen as self-arising sound, and masters only speak when speech serves liberation. Masters in the Dzogchen tradition. And for empaths, this means that your words must align with your vibration. Speech is to be used only for precision, invocation, and liberation, not negotiation, defense, or performative belonging. Therefore, selective silence is the meta boundary. It really is. And what happens is it becomes a force field of non-resonance to chaos. If any of what I'm sharing so far resonates with you, type transform in the comment section or send me a message at nana@innermileage and let us know how we can be of help to you. Or you can also book a free session, an alignment session on my website, innermileage.com. But I want to let you know that physics confirms that sound creates cymatics. The experiments by Hans Jenny in the 20th century show that sound vibrations organize matter into coherent geometric patterns. You may have seen this in the documentaries, What the Bleep Do We Know, and so forth. This means that your speech literally organizes or disorders the subtle structures of your biofield. And in chaos theory, speech can serve as a strange attractor, pulling you into coherent order or into entropic spirals. And every careless word spoken by an empath invites non-coherence, distraction, or entanglement. Because empaths are uniquely vulnerable because of this auric permeability and mirror-neuron hyperactivity shown in neuroimaging studies. Because the nervous system absorbs not only the energy of words, but the energetic intent behind them. So if you're ascending, you cannot continue to waste your energetic capital through verbal leakage. Disciplined language and discerning silence create energetic coherence, emotional clarity, and psychic sovereignty. And you will no longer need to defend your truth or convince anyone of your worth. The silence you cultivate becomes a transmission itself, which is an energetic field of presence, stability, and self-anchored sovereignty. So before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Or does it increase coherence? And cultivate energetic pauses in your conversations to detect subtle manipulations or unconscious hooks. Remember, you are the architect of your environments, and mastering your word and silences is a critical discipline of embodied spiritual leadership. Keep ascending, keep shining your light. One love.